my channel. I'm Rachel, the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Today's Friday, and for today's video it's going to be kind of fun. I'm going to show you a couple items that I flipped, and then we are going to move on to showing you the brand new product that I just got in from the Redesign with Prima release. Now, the items that I flipped for you, one of them is featuring one of the new transfer sets. The other one has one of the older transfer sets on it. I had really hoped to show you a couple of the new transfer sets. However, I ran into a bit of a snag with one of the projects that I was working on. And one of the things I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about before we got started were transfers and the mistake I made with this piece. And that was not paying attention to what I was actually painting over. So I had a piece that was a sign that somebody had hand painted. I have no idea with what. And rather than sand that old paint off and start fresh, I went ahead and sprayed over it with some spray paint and then applied some DIY paint and then tried to apply my transfer. Unfortunately, my transfer pulled up the not only the DIY paint, the spray paint, but also the paint that was underneath. So whatever paint they had used was not stuck down well enough to the surface to actually hold down when I was trying to peel my transfer up. I even tried restarting over, and I did the same thing with the paint and then went over it with Big Top and had the exact same result, even with it sealed. So sometimes when you're doing your transfers, you really have to pay attention to, like I said, whatever the base coat is that you're starting from. And unfortunately, every once in a while you run into a snafu like I did today, and you just have to kind of move on. So I am not going to resand that piece all the way down to nothing. I am just going to paint over what I've done and figure out something different with that piece for this go round. So unfortunately, like I said, only one of the pieces that I got finished for today is featuring the new product, but I did the other one with an autumn transfer that I've had for a while that I really love, and I think you guys will like it too. Sorry about all of the lengthy words, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys those pointers. And without further ado, let's get to the couple of projects that I did get done for today, and then, like I said, stay tuned to the end of the video and I will show you all of the cool new stuff that I have available. I knew I wanted to use the wreath from the brand new Cozy Comforts transfer set by Redesign with Prima, and I happened to have this little wooden plaque in my stash that it would fit perfectly on, so I grabbed it and went ahead and took it outside and sanded it smooth. I took all of the old paint off of it, the front, the sides, and the back. And then I took it inside and began painting it. And for the background, I decided I wanted a really nice light neutral. I didn't really want white, so I am going in with Faded Burlap by DIY, which is one of my favorite neutrals. It's a nice kind of beigey brown, very light, but fits with everything. You can see how beautifully one coat covers this raw wood. This paint is relatively thick and it's very highly pigmented, and I absolutely love it. So just going over again the back with one coat of the Faded Burlap. I did go over the front twice just because I knew I wanted to sand it nice and smooth. So it's always nice to have a little extra paint when I do that. Then I actually rinsed off the sanding dust in my sink and then grabbed out my transfer set. And again, this is the Cozy Comforts brand new transfer set by Redesign with Prima. And I cut out my wreath and placed it down over my board and began using that transfer stick to apply it. Now this process ended up being a little more difficult than I had planned on, mainly because I think I didn't leave my board to dry well enough before I started applying my transfer. So you can see in a couple of places I really had to rub pretty hard to get it to lay down, but eventually I managed to get the whole thing applied. If you like this transfer and want to see more, please check out my website, and it's www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. Once I'd finished applying the entire transfer, I went ahead and burnished it in really well with a piece of that vellum before moving on to sealing my paint. For that, I'm using DIY's clear wax, and I am just applying that with my soft bristle brush. And then once I have a nice even coat on my piece, I'm wiping that back with a dry shop towel. I did go over the front, the sides, and the back with the clear wax before moving on to my next step. Next up, I added a little piece of jute twine to that hole on the top, just in case somebody wanted to use that as a hanger. Then I decided I wanted to add a little bit of that same jute twine around the top of this to make it look a little bit more like a handle and to give this piece a little more personality. So I'm just hot gluing very slowly and carefully, one strip at a time, that jute around the handle of this until I had enough that I was satisfied, and then I just glued the end piece back down. Then I grabbed a couple strips of flower sack cloth that I had dyed with some coffee. I tied those in a knot, cut off the ends so that they were even, and then glued that to the jute twine at the top, just kind of off to one side. And then I added a little bit of bling to finish this piece off. I love how it turned out, and I hope you guys do too. Now, originally I had another project in mind for this video. However, I ran into some issues with it. I really wanted to highlight the new release for this video, but I had to improvise. So I grabbed this cutting board and I went ahead and sanded it. This thing's been in my stash for probably at least a couple years. It was actually out in our garage, and I wanted to make sure I had a nice clean starting point without any cooking oil or any gunk. So I am sanding it really, really well, and then I brought it inside and cleaned it up with some mineral spirits just to get it all ready to seal. I didn't want to stain this necessarily. I really kind of liked the grain of the wood. I just wanted to show that off. So I decided to go over it instead with a coat of Sweet Pickins milk paint, top coat, and in matte. So it's not going to be shiny. It'll be a nice matte finish. And I'm just putting one good even coat of that on both sides of this cutting board. Now for this one, I am going to be using the transfer set called Dried Wildflowers. I've had it for quite some time. It's an older set, but I really want to use up the last pieces of it, and this cutting board was perfect for this wreath that was in the set. So I went ahead and cut it out and then peeled the backing off, laid it down as in the center as best I could, and then began applying it with that transfer stick. So I'm just rubbing that transfer down into my piece with that transfer stick and slowly peeling back that piece of vellum. This one went down like a dream, and it was a pretty quick process. Anytime you're laying these transfers down, just make sure if you do accidentally pull up a piece of the transfer, just lay it right back down and re-rub that spot until it's completely adhered. Then I did go over it with a piece of vellum just to burnish it in really well and make sure I had good adhesion to the entire board. Once that was done, I went ahead and sealed my transfer in with another coat of that matte top coat by Sweet Pickins, and then this piece is finished. I really, really love how this came out. It's such a simple makeover, but it really dressed this little cutting board up. Okay, so on to the new product, you guys. So I wasn't able to get the entire release. However, I really concentrated on fall and Christmas this go around. Thanks to some of you for ordering, I was able to go ahead and order in some of the pieces that I didn't get the first go around. So there will be some more newer stuff, but for now, this is what I have. So we'll start with a couple of the molds that I absolutely love for fall. This one's called Falling Leaves Fantasy. It is absolutely fantastic. It is just some beautiful leaves with all of the beautiful detail in them. Just really, really pretty, you guys. Can hardly wait to use that. And then probably my favorite thing for fall is this mold called Falling for Fall, tongue twister, and it's pumpkins. And talk about detail. Look at all the fabulous detail in each of those molds. Now, keep in mind, these are food safe, so you can use them for chocolate, you could use them for cake baking, candy making, whatever you'd like to use them for. So great, great products. For transfer sets, they came out with 3 that I love. This one is called Cozy Comforts, and it has 3 sheets. So each sheet is 6 by 12. So you get all 3 sheets in this one. These are $12.99. Then this one is beautiful. This one's called Pumpkin Patch Galore. It is all these beautiful orange and white and blue pumpkins. And so that's what it looks like. Again, you get 3 6 by 12 sheets with this one as well. And then the last transfer set is called Autumn Splender. And this one is a lot of fun. It's very colorful, very autumn inspired. And you get, again, the 3 6 by 12 sheets with all sorts of leaves and different fall things. These transfer sets are great because you don't have to use them on just huge pieces of furniture. They're perfect for all of your smaller decor if you want to do little frames or just little projects, little carry totes or anything like that. Perfect for those. So then they got, I'm going to set this down. And then there's one Decapage Paper, the A1 size, which is 23.4 inches by 33.1 inches, and it is gorgeous. It is just this beautiful fall palette of colors with some leaves in it. You guys can see there. Just really, really pretty. I absolutely love these papers, and this one is so pretty, you guys. And then lastly for fall is a stamp set, and these are great for making tags. You can see all of the different styles that you get there. It's an 8.5 by 11 sheet, so you get all of the stamps. They're clear, and so if you happen to have like a clear block, they're really helpful to put these on and be able to stamp. But really cute ideas for all of your fall projects. So I thought those were really neat too. And then on to Christmas. So so excited for all these, you guys. So this one is called the molds. So there were 4 molds that I got in. This one's called Nutcracker Magic. So it's got all of these little nutcrackers, reminiscent of the one they had from last year, but just a little different styles on each of the nutcrackers. This one is so pretty. You could make ornaments for your tree with this. You could make gifts. You could use them for tags. It's called Holy Harmony. And it's all these fantastic crosses with all of that gorgeous detail in them. Just a beautiful, beautiful set. Then this one is called Dazzling Ornates. It's a fun one. Again, for ornaments, would be fantastic for your tree or whatever. So just all these beautiful shapes with all that gorgeous detail in them. And then Papercraft Charms, which is kind of reminiscent more of snowflakes. But again, they would make super pretty ornaments or additions to a larger piece of art, whatever you wanted to use them for. So lots of pretty options. And then they did 2 stamp sets for Christmas. These are perfect for tags. So if you have tags, or you can create tags with your Cricut. So they come, this one's called Santa's Helper, and then this one's called Merry and Bright tags. And so this one looks like this. Hopefully I'm not getting it too close, but you can see all the pretty tags that you can make with this one. And then this one, same kind of thing. A little different styles, but again, just so a lot of pretty options. So then there were 3 smaller transfer sets. And again, these are so great for doing smaller projects for Christmas. So this one's called Nutcracker Christmas. Super, super cute. Let's see. Again, it's the 6x12 design. So you get 3 sheets with all the fun nutcrackers on them. This one's called Joyful Jingles. It's really cute. So this is what it looks like when you get it. And it's got all of these lovely little transfers. Loving the candy canes and the Santa, the little girl and boy together. So cute. And then this one is called Winter Wonderland Wonders. And it comes looking like this. Love the gingerbread house. And so there's all the little pieces of the transfer set. So again, just another gorgeous way to decorate a bunch of smalls for Christmas. And then they had 6 new papers. These are the A3 size, which is kind of cool. They are 11.7 inches by 16.5 inches. So they're not so huge. So again, great for if you wanted to do a little box or, you know, a little crate or something like that for Christmas. These would be perfect for those kind of projects. This first one is called Whimsical Woodland. These back down. It's too hard to hold them. So it's got these 3 pieces of paper. So hopefully you can see all 3 of those. These would make a beautiful background for a piece if you wanted to use something else over the top of them, or just, again, cover the sides of a tote or a box. Just really pretty. Then this one, again, same thing, a lot of nice pattern to it. It's called Nutcracker Happiness. So it's got these 3 pieces of paper in it. And this one's kind of fun because it's got tons of different single designs in it that you could probably cut out even smaller and use for smaller projects. So there's that one. This one I really love. This is called Christmas Cargo. And if you guys are familiar with the red truck, I mean, who's not at this point? But there you get 3 pieces. And this piece, you get these 2 images this way, and then you get the landscape going the other direction, which is kind of fun. And then you get this whole piece and that whole piece. So just a really pretty option for some projects. This one is cut into pieces as well. It's called Snowy Twilight. And you get all of these. So these 3 pieces of paper, this one has 4 images, this one has the 2, and then this is a single image on that one. So just a really pretty selection of images there. Then this one's called Wings of Winter. Same thing, you've got one with 2 pieces, one with 4, and then a single. Just a really pretty, with all those angels, just beautiful. And lastly, this one's called Silent Night Snow Village. And again, you just get, I think there's 2 different images on this one. So that's kind of fun because they're nice and long. And then you get the 2 different ones on this where it's portrait, and then a single image over here. So again, just some beautiful options for your projects. And that is it. And like I said, there were a few items that I didn't get the first go around, but thank you very much for those of you who placed orders already. I so appreciate it. I was able to order the little frogs, and so I will show you the frog collection when I get it in. I'm super excited to be able to have that here in the shop as well, and hopefully use it on some projects in the future. So it's really cute. Anyway, that's it from here for today, you guys. If you're interested at all in any of the products that I showed you today, please hit up my website, and it's www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. I so appreciate your orders. The one thing I can say is I get my orders out as quickly as I possibly can. So if you order through me, just know that I'm going to do everything in my power to get you your items as quickly as I possibly can, normally within a week. So just kind of keep that in mind. Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, I really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would really love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and then just hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. And then drop a comment below. Let me know, did you have a favorite in all the products I showed you guys today? I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And let's see, for Tuesday's video, I am going to be going back to doing some thrift flips. I actually have a couple DIYs in mind as well, so might be a little bit of a mixed bag, we'll see. But anyway, I hope you'll join me on Tuesday for that. Until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.